Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage, where badge hype gets left at the dealership, spec sheet worship gets tossed in the glove box, and what you're left with is raw, unfiltered driving truth. If you're new here, this is your pit stop for real-world car reviews without the fluff, so hit that subscribe button, buckle up, and let's see if the 2026 Dodge Challenger still has the muscle to back up its legacy. Exterior. Now, Dodge has done something bold. In a time when most automakers are downsizing, hybridizing, and dev-swapping everything in sight, the 2026 Challenger roars in with an unapologetic punch to the gut. It's loud, it's mean, and it still wears its attitude on its fenders. But this year, there are some big changes. The design is evolving. The tech is finally catching up, and under the hood well, let's just say Dodge knows their audience, and they're not about to disappoint. Let's start at the front. The moment this car rolls up behind you in traffic, there's no mistaking it. The 2026 Challenger keeps that retro-inspired grille that pays tribute to the 70s icon, but it's tighter, sleeker, and slightly more aerodynamic than ever before. The LED headlights are meaner, almost squinting with aggression, and that functional hood scoop, still there, still massive, still feeding a hungry beast underneath. Dodge has made a subtle shift here. It's modernized, yes, but the Challenger hasn't gone soft. There's a sculpted presence to the new front fascia that somehow balances muscle car bulk with next-gen sharpness. Slide around to the side, and the long, low-slung coupe silhouette remains intact. Thank the car gods. This isn't a coupe trying to look like a sports car. It's a muscle car, and proud of it. The wide fenders, aggressive side skirts, and optional 20 or 21-inch wheels fill the arches perfectly. You'll notice new trim lines this year too, including a stealth black package that blacks out every bit of chrome and throws in matte accents, giving it an all-business, street predator vibe. The roofline, still classic Challenger, but a bit more streamlined. It looks like it's always in motion, even when it's standing still. From the back, the Challenger still brings that signature light bar LED taillight, but it's now thinner, sharper, and surrounded by a cleaner rear fascia. Dodge has ditched some of the bulk and added subtle aero tweaks. The trunk spoiler is more integrated, and the dual exhaust tips remain, but with slightly wider openings, just to remind you this thing means business. And yes, that deep, guttural exhaust note, still enough to scare your neighbor's dog. It's still a true coupe in every sense. Two doors, big hips, and a stance that says, let's settle this at the light. Interior. Hop inside, and you're met with a cabin that finally catches up to 2026 standards without losing that classic American muscle flavor. The dashboard is driver-focused with a new 14.1-inch curved touchscreen, seamlessly integrated into a more refined, horizontal layout. Gone are the plasticky knobs and clunky infotainment from years past. Now you've got a digital cockpit that feels like a cockpit. Dodge's latest to-connect system is fast, fluid, and finally worthy of the car's reputation. And if you're wondering about physical controls, yes, thank you, they're still here. Volume knobs, drive mode selectors, VEC toggles. It's not all touchscreen swipes and buried menace. The seats say whether you go cloth, Alcantara, or full Napa leather, hug you tighter this year. And in the performance trims, you get bolstering that holds you like a wrestling move. There's an option for red seat belts, contrast stitching, and even retro-inspired gauges on the digital cluster. Dodge isn't just leaning into its past, it's fusing it with the future. Rear seats still exist, barely usable for adults, but good for bags, kids, or telling your friends, yeah, technically it's a four-seater. Now let's talk power. The base model, if you can even call it that, still packs a serious punch. For 2026, Dodge offers a range of powertrains. The entry-level comes with the turbocharged inline-six Hurricane engine pushing around 420 horsepower. Yes, it's not a V8, but before you get your pitchforks out, this thing rips 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. And it actually improves weight distribution compared to the old HEMI V8s. Performance. That said, Dodge knows its fanbase. So yes, the V8 is still here. In the Scat Pack and SRT trims, you can get a revised 6.4-liter HEMI pushing north of 500 horsepower. or the SRT Hellcat Red Eye pushing a wild 797. If you want to go nuclear, there's even a rumored last call trim that touches 840 plus horsepower. Think Demon 170's spiritual successor. Whichever version you pick, you're not getting a soulless HEMI, you're getting burbles, pops, and enough torque to rip the tires into next week. Handling has also taken a step forward. The new chassis is slightly lighter and stiffer, the suspension is more responsive, and steering feel is actually good. Yes, this big bruiser can now dance, not like a ballerina, but maybe like a heavyweight boxer with footwork. It's still rear-wheel drive dominant, but all-wheel drive is available on some trims, making it more of a year-round weapon than ever before. Let's talk numbers. Pricing for the 2026 Dodge Challenger starts around $39,000 for the Bass Hurricane 6-cylinder. Move up to the Scat Pack, and you're looking at around $52,000. The Hellcat trims, expect $70,000 to $90,000 depending on how crazy you go with options. That might sound like a lot, but for nearly 800 horsepower in a car that still brings raw analog fun in a sea of digital boredom, it almost feels like a bargain. Fuel economy, not great, but who's really buying a Challenger for the MPGs? You get what you expect, a thirsty but thrilling. If you're going for the Hurricane engine, you might squeak out mid-20s on the highway. If you're going Hellcat, just accept that gas stations are part of your lifestyle now. So where does that leave us? The 2026 Dodge Challenger is a defiant middle finger to automotive conformity. It refuses to become a soft, silent F8, at least not yet, and instead doubles down on what made it iconic: power, presence, and attitude. It's more refined, more advanced, and better to drive than ever before, but it still lets you feel every gear shift, hear every roar, and smile like a maniac with every green light launch. This isn't a car for everyone. It's not practical. It's not efficient. It doesn't pretend to be something it's not. But that's exactly what makes it special in 2026. In a world racing toward autonomous pods and emotionless efficiency, the Challenger is still unapologetically a car with a heartbeat. If you're looking for character, for noise, for drama, this is it. Just be ready to pay for gas, tires, and maybe a few speeding tickets. Thanks for riding with us here on Car Flash. If this review hit you in the gearhead feels, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment about your dream spec, and hit subscribe for more brutally honest car reviews. We don't do spec sheet worship. We drive, we test, and we tell it like it is. This was the 2026 Dodge Challenger. Still a rebel, still a legend. Catch you in the next one.